All right, so good morning. Today is September 13th of 2024, and this will be the last day before the weekend. Um, so let's go over yesterday's price action. A little crazy, but uh, satisfied with yesterday. Well, not in the morning, but anyways, let's just go over that real quick, and then I'll go over today's pretty good win actually. Okay, so yesterday was a little weird for me because I got stuck in I got stuck trading in time distortion. And when you're trading in time distortion, it's better to just call it. But thankfully, though, I decided to go with micros, and that actually minimized my loss for the 10 o'clock macro. Um, it caught a pretty good win on the 11 o'clock macro, so that kind of leveled things out for the rest of the day. And then the rest of the day, I just followed price action. But anyways, so yesterday I had expected price to draw higher uh, off the morning. Not before I kept on switching my bias though, which is weird. Uh, and one of the reasons why that happened was because I didn't really write my plan down. And when you don't write your plan down, your mind plays tricks on you. So that's a mistake I did yesterday. I did not write my plan down, and today I did though, so I'm happy about that, and I have it right next to me. So again, what I wanted to see is I wanted to see a sweep of the lows and then a and then a draw lower. Um, but obviously, as you can see, it didn't happen. Um, but again, once price was down here, I had expected continuation because I seen something different. But right now, institutional order flow is bullish on the higher time frame, and so that's why I'm going with that. But again, yesterday I had expected price to draw lower, and there was nothing on the 1 hour. Okay, there was nothing on the 1 hour, but there was something on the 15 minute. And what I wanted to see on the 15 minute was I wanted to see a sweep of the high and then a sweep of the low. As you can see here on NQ, it never did, but here it did. But right after this open here, I did not see a sweep of the high. On NQ though, on ES though, I did. And so because of that, I had expected price to continue drawing lower, and it did momentarily. So here is where I got very, where I got stuck really. And like I said, I got stuck in that. And again, that's time distortion consolidation where every move is not really at all where it was supposed to go. There was an entry here off of this hold, off of this order block and gap here, and then price drew higher after that. But to me, it's not the best um, the best setup. I just don't like this, so I and for some reason I was short and long, but but yes. Anyways, that was kind of a big no-no for me, and so I just decided to call it. I had taken enough. Ooh, I'm about to get triggered in. Okay, good. All right. But I'll explain that in a second here. But anyway, so I am expecting. So again, my original plan was to want to see these highs get swept, and then for price to draw lower. And so once these highs get swept, I started looking for purges. I started looking for purge of the high, purge of the low, and then the same thing that happened once again. It did right there. As soon as this price closed below this gap here, I got short and covered into the sweep here. Not a big win, but enough to call these trades even, basically. Yeah, I just completely forgot about this. This right here was a good setup for me. Why? Because a couple of days ago, I had the same trade. Where is it? Where is it? Right here. Right here. Consolidation, swing high, swing low, purge, trades back into this gap here, and then trades lower into 50% of this range. Obviously, for the next few days, price did trade lower, but I was only looking for this immediate trade, and so that's why I traded this. And unfortunately, though, it did sweep the high, but by this time I was already out on most because again, it equaled out these dumb trades over here. So I took it. Now, Frank, obviously price drew higher, and institutional order flow was bullish. Now, if these lows were never swept, but this high was, then I do believe that these this down move would have continued longer, would have continued on. But obviously, in hindsight, it didn't. Now, why did this continue higher? Because on the 1 hour, here it is. Because on the 1 hour we had these swings right here. Price swept the low. Actually, no, it was in the 15-minute. Oh, darn. Actually, let's go with the 30-minute, higher time frame. Okay. So on the higher time frame, you had the swing highs here, swing high here. So here, we never swept the swing low. We swept the swing high. Then once here again on the 15-minute. Okay, here on the 15-minute, again, we never swept the swing high. Here, swept the swing low, swing high, swing low, swept the swing high once again, swing low, and then drew higher. If you look at ES, where is it? Right here. Had previously swept the swing high here. SMT between ES and NQ. ES drew a higher low, and NQ didn't. NQ swept that swing low. So this is a perfect area. The other thing was that on the lower time frames there is a second stage SMT here, which caused that. I did try to catch a long in the afternoon session, but that was dead on arrival. I just did not like the setup because this right here was just way too. It was just not a good setup. Swing high, swing long, purge into this area here. I got long right around here, but I ended up covering it right here as soon as I realized that we would just consolidate for the rest of the day. And so that was my day. I didn't really it was a flat day basically where my wins covered my losses, and yeah, that was it. I just wasn't. I was mad. I was frustrated that I didn't catch this. I wasn't frustrated here, even though I should have been. But once I realized that, it was just time distortion, I just got out of it. But again, here I was frustrated that I missed this. It was during the 12 o'clock macro. So I'm not mad about that. I'm just mad that I didn't wait long enough to see these areas get swept and the long setup to get drawn in there, because it did hold above this big area of what's the word? This big gap here on the 1 hour. So what am I expecting today? Today, today I'm expecting a continuation to the upside. Um, Not necessarily to new highs, but to at least sweep these highs up here. And we actually are in a setup right now, which is a 1 second. Okay, so again, we are in a setup right now because we do have SMT between these lows here, because I do see a 1 hour setup, and I actually traded this morning at 8:30 to catch the second purge down here. Because again, we do have a setup on the 1 hour. We are holding above this 15-minute gap here. During London, we swept this high here, and then during London, we consolidated within this price range, and I knew that we would we would sweep these lows here because once we sweep a high, if we are bullish, then we have to take out sell stops. Once we take out sell stops, that's when we start to draw the reversal, and so that price can draw higher. So I am expecting price to draw higher, at least to these highs here. We have relative equal highs here, generated liquidity where every new low, where every new high is lower than the one to the left of it. Here we do have relative equal highs as well. So as you can see, ES is reaching towards those highs with the SMT here. But the reason why I took a short here is because even though we have a buy setup here on the 1 hour, on the 5 minute, I actually wanted to see price draw into these areas, and I actually was able to get it. Again, waited for the actually I wasn't around for it, but we had the sweep here. These swings don't mean anything to me because if I want to see a sell setup, what I want to see is I want to see the same thing that happened on the higher time frame. I want to see that on the lower time frame now. So I waited for a swing high to swing low to get swept. First swing high, swing low was here. Then another one formed up here. So whichever one forms, there's a swing high here, but no swing low here. This is not necessarily a good, what do you call that? A clear swing high, swing low to me. So I used this one. I wanted to see price sweep the swing high, then the swing low here, and then I wanted to see price displace lower to where I could catch a move down to this area here. And so I didn't get in here. I actually got in right here once price failed to close above that area. Let's take a look here on the, where is it? No, it's not there. Oh, right here. All right, so that's where I caught this trade. Took the short here, covered as soon as price swept this low here, actually right at the entry. So that was my early morning trade. Pretty good trade. I like that. So now what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the same thing that we saw on this higher time frame. I'm actually looking here now. I am on one contract, which I actually got triggered right here at, let's see here. Actually, no, it's right here at 38.25. Why? Well, because because I do believe this low is protected, meaning that this was the purge that I was looking for in order for price to continue drawing higher. And it's a mini, so I'm not really too worried about that. The short I took down here was actually, no, actually, the short I took down here was a mini. The long I'm looking to take around here is a micro. So I am only looking to I'm only looking to risk about 15 points, I think it is. 15, 20 points, yeah. About 20 points I'm looking to risk with a stop below this area. Actually, let me put the stop now. And again, I traded a mini, so the amount of points I'm looking to risk on this micro is not really that much. It's about maybe 1/8 my original profit, so I'm okay with that. 1275, 1275. Okay. Okay. And give me a second. Go. I'm trying to show the buy stops. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is my entry here. I do believe that this low is protected now. If we sweep the low, then that would actually only that would be kind of bad. But if I get stopped, that's fine. That's the only trade I'm looking to trade today. Obviously, there's no setup yet, but I wanted to just get in front of it, just to kind of catch, just get a feel for how price is reacting. Um, but again, what I want to see is we did put in a swing high here, swing low. So I want to see the same thing that we see on the higher time frame. I want to see this on the lower time frame now, where I want this swing high to get swept, swing low, price comes back down to here, we get a setup, and then price draws higher. So if I'm right, what I am going to do is I am going to cover this contract. I'm going to cover it up here. In fact, let me just set it up now. All right, so I just set that up. Stop down here, draw in here. Draw is up here right now. All of these relative equal highs over here that are right next to each other. I want to see that. So again, we do have a swing high, swing low, clear swing high, well-defined swing high, swing low now. So as long as this low does not get swept, then that's what I'll be looking for. I'll be looking for a draw higher today. My mind is clearer today. Yesterday with that time distortion, and my fault is that I was actually I was too zoomed in. I was on the 1 minute, and anytime I zoomed out, it was like, oh, I see something different. Let me change my mind. So today I am looking for something more. I am clearer. I have not zoomed into the 1 minute, and I will not until I actually see the swings get drawn in there. Let's change this because this is the gap that I'll be looking for. Once I get in here, I will be looking at this gap to see if it acts as an inversion. What I mean by that is, as you can see here, price failed to close above. So if price is bullish, on the way up, price should close above this area here. You know what? I'm not going to change my mind on that because even if I'm right and we come back down here, I'll probably end up getting scared out of it. So I am sold on the long, and I am leaving my stop here. Whether I get stopped or not, that's yet to be seen. But I'm gonna stick to that original plan because now I just caught myself changing. I just caught myself changing changing plans, and that's not something you want to do midway through your plan. Let's see. All right. So anyways, I do have to take care of something, so I'll be back later on if I see something different. All right. Let's see here. All right, so we do have a couple of minutes to the open. I'm thinking we might sweep this low here. But again, it all has to do with how price reacts over here. Um, there is no SMT between the highs or lows. So again, institutional order flow remains bullish for me. On the daily, we did close above a couple of bearish PD arrays. That's why my bias is bullish right now. We have yet, where is it? Right there. Okay. So here on the daily, we are right here. As you can see, yesterday we did reach consequent encroachment, so I do expect price to at least run to these highs. We do have a small gap here that hasn't been completely closed yet. We did draw multiple areas of imbalances, but I don't think these imbalances get filled today because we do have relative equal highs up here, relative equal highs up here that I do believe will get swept going into next week, if not today. Um, had to change my bias after we had this long day, so that was actually pretty cool. You should be switching your bias as soon as you one of the uh, an opposing PD array gets violated on the higher time frame, which is a daily. So again, here on this daily balance here, we close above constant encroachment. So I do expect for this price to at least reach to the um, the edge here on the daily PD array. Uh, let's see here on the 60-minute. We have violated all of these bearish PD arrays. So that's why, to me, the bias is still bullish. Um, Now, one thing I failed to do last week was to see this consolidation here, because it is the same, and I have always done this, but for some reason I failed to do that this time. Here, once we swept all of these consolidations, we drew higher, and that's exactly what we did we did here. And on top of that, we were right at bullish PD arrays at 50%, or right below here. Here we literally touched 50% of the range, and now we're drawing higher. So so the fact that we kind of technically have the same here. That's what I'll be expecting. I'll be expecting for eventually next week to maybe consolidate a little, run all those lows, and then continue to draw higher. But I don't expect that today because I do expect new highs to get drawn, so that we're basically building up more liquidity. We're building up more liquidity to then run that liquidity and then draw higher. But I don't think the runs of the swing highs here are yet uh, are yet a reason, or is enough liquidity to then run today. So I don't think that's enough just yet. I do think that we do have more ways to go. So that's what I'll be looking for today. I'll be looking for draws into the highs. I don't anticipate displacement lower. We do have relative equal lows here, but again, I don't think these lows are sufficient enough to cause a major draw lower. So I do expect again, even if these highs get swept, that's fine. But I don't expect a massive run today because today is Friday. There is no news, so there's no catalyst, no news driver to send price driving. But the fact that lately the runs have happened outside of news days is kind of a reason to stay. I guess you can say optimistic in that price may decide to run. But again, all of this has to deal with the fact deal has to deal um, with the fact that price may still draw higher. Um, And yeah, so we'll see what happens today. The only gap I see here on the 4 hours is this area here. These gaps here, this is a medium rebound, so I don't anticipate this area to get to be much of a difference. We do this area here is a balanced price range. If you look at the 15-minute, you actually see what I'm talking about. Same thing here on the 1 hour though. This is where I actually tried to get long, but I actually ended up taking a loss that day. Actually, no, not a loss. I actually ended up making a pretty good area here because this balanced price range. So today again, I am expecting for bullish price action. Uh, I don't see anything just yet. I think I'm just gonna leave this area here to get swept because I am looking for a 5-minute drawn liquidity. Did I just get stopped? Yes, I did. Let me make sure it triggered though. Okay, yeah. See right here on micros. Okay, so again, the only thing I'm looking for right now is on the 5-minute. I'm not looking for anything other than that. I'm looking for a good setup. I'm not looking to get in like I did yesterday. So today, all we do is just wait until I see something, and when I see something, that's when I'll actually jump in. I won't jump in any other time before that. With ES, if we run a low, then it'll be up to this low here. Let's take a look at YM. What is YM doing? Nothing up here. We did not run this swing low. Nope, nothing. Here we did run it. Oh, wow, that's turtle soup. All right, let's give it one more time. Uh, all right, all right. So I'm back in with one contract. I took it in at this tight at this slight retracement here. What I want to see is I don't care um, I don't care if I have to wait a long time. What I want to see is, well, what we already saw is we had price sweep liquidity up here um, on the lower time frame. So now that we are on the higher time frame, now I'll move into the 5-minute because here is the two areas I'm looking for. I'm looking at now. Actually, that's not four. This is four now. Yes, 5, 5. So we do have relative equal lows here right off of midnight open. So yeah, for now, just waiting to see what else it wants to do. Um, one contract is good, micro, but if I'm able to catch the whole move, then the risk reward is worth it, as long as this low is protected, because these relative equal lows were just swept. Did that also happen on the 15-minute? Yes, it did. Okay, so we do have two time frames of double purges. That's why I chose to use this one here. I don't need this anymore. If we draw towards these highs, I want to see this area here act as a support. And so far so good. What was the close over here actually? Right there. That's the 1 hour close, by the way. So we have two areas where price has to close above. If price continues to draw higher here, I'm actually going to set my sell here at 78.50. All right, right there. Okay, so I have my sell here. Um, if it sweeps this high, then that's fine too, because I am expecting something like that. What I want to see is something like this. Oh crap. Uh, Something like this and like that. If we don't, then that's fine, because then we actually can zoom into the 15-minute, the 5-minute. I think I'm about to get triggered right now. Wait, I didn't get triggered. I have my sell order right there. All right, so I had to just manually do it. That's unfortunate. I'm checking something real quick. I had a sell order there, but it didn't get triggered. I don't know what happened. All right, let's see. Let's take a look. All right, so I had, yep, I had a sell order right here, but it didn't get triggered for some reason. But that's fine. I was able to take some here, covered into these areas here. So now what do I want to see? I want to see price close above this 15 minute over here. As long as I see price close above this 15 minute here, now we have relative equal highs that I want to target later on. I want to see the 5 minute show me something. And if we run the high, then that's fine. I'll just let it go, and I think I'll be done for the day. Pretty good first, pretty good morning, pretty good opening trade. So now I'm set for Friday. I don't expect to trade later on unless we really don't run this high. Well, I don't expect to trade like during the 10 o'clock macro. Actually, this is 4 here. There we go. So I wasn't right on this one, but I was right on this one, so I'm pretty happy today. I'm just hoping that high doesn't get swept. And I also like ES here. As you can see, it's also drawn a high here, but we have relative equal lows here. So maybe another sweep down here is not out of the realm of possibility just yet. So I'm just going to wait with NQ. I think we are setting up a 10 o'clock macro entry. Yep, I'm just going to leave that there. Let's leave this here. And if I do end up taking this trade here, then it'll be towards this area here. So now we have relative equal highs. I want to see a drawback into 50% of this range here, but I just hope it doesn't get swept yet. Oh, I really hope it doesn't get swept. All week I've kind of been off as far as timing it, but I think all the stars are aligning this time. Midnight open also falls right in line with this, 50%. ES, I'd love a sweep of this low here. Oh, copy image. This is the, oh man, we swept that high. Um, this is the pattern I'm trading right here. And as you can see, price just swept the high. So 4 up that way. I've always traded this pattern, but yesterday I just decided to make it look a little more detailed because I do tend to forget things at times. And we just swept that. Damn. All right, so that's it for the day. Objective just been met. So whether or not we run towards those highs, I don't care. I'm just happy to be out of the. I'm just happy that my objective was already met. The fact that we did not sweep these lows indicates that price is really bullish. So I would not be surprised if we draw towards the high of this gap here, as well as the high of this gap. Where is it? I think we already hit the high, but new week opening gap maybe. Now the other thing I'm expecting is because we just completed this buy model here. So another thing I could expect is draw lower. We get swing highs here now. We get something like this. Purge, low, and then continuation. So that's what I'm looking for now. I'm not going to get in. Let's take a look at the 1 minute, see if there was anything on there. Yeah, as you can see, there's nothing there. If anything, this could be a 15-minute model. I mean, yeah, 15-minute model where we have price hold at this order block here. So I'll be watching this area here. We do have a gap here that hasn't been done yet, or the 15-minute hasn't closed yet, so that's why I'm not gonna add it just yet. I do like that we're leaving a gap here. So yeah, these are the types of trades that I would take if I were to get long again, because we have displacement first of all, but the only thing I don't want is I don't want this gap to get these gaps to get closed. If they do, then that trade idea is out of the way. Kind of like this one right here, where you get a one-sided move without these gaps closing, and obviously, in hindsight, you could have entered here, um, but obviously I didn't. I actually took it up here, actually on NQ. Um, but yeah, so once you get that order block along with the gap here, it makes it for a stronger case to get long or to get into a trade. So that's what I'm looking for today. I'm not looking for anything mediocre. As you can see here, this displacement or sort of displacement doesn't have any gaps, but here it does. And you could have entered here with this order block here as well as this gap here, and then price swept through the highs. But this area here, as you can see, even though it did displace higher, later on it kind of just crumbled on itself. Same thing here. So this is no longer needed, but I will leave this 3 here. Okay, I did check right. All right, yeah, there is no news today. I just had to double check real quick again. All right, so we got 10 minutes until the close of that 15-minute candle. All right, let's take a look at the 5-minute. Nothing. 1 minute. No clear swing high, swing low, except for this area here. So if anything, I would like a sweep here, then price to displace lower and get in. The only way I'll get in is if there's SMT between the 15 and 5-minute. Between on the 15-minute on both sides. And YM also had that SMT where it did not sweep this low. So ES and YM were in sync, whereas NQ was the one to sweep the low. It's crazy how oftentimes I forget about SMT instead of when I see a setup, SMT is I guess you can say the go-to decision, is the go-to PD array where that allows me to take a trade, or how. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now. I want to see that swing high get swept, and then that swing low. 5 more minutes. No, not yet, not yet, not yet. All right, just gotta let it work itself. YM is still drawing higher. All right, so we just swept that low. Actually, we didn't. Thought we just did. Mm, 10 o'clock is coming around, and the 4-hour candle is about to close. It's actually pretty bullish here. Here, not so much. 60-minute. All right. I want to see price close above this body here on the 1 hour. One more minute. Sit over the 15-minute. Jeez, that was quick. Okay, so right here's where I want to get in. Oh, don't tell me. I want to get in down here. There is SMT between ES and NQ. There is it. There is. There isn't. How did that happen? There was no news. Either way, I'm still not in. Now I want to see price close above here because this is just too volatile. All right. All right, let me jump in there. It's a little too early, and I really don't like this area, but we'll see. I'm risking that profit I made earlier. It was about 60 points, but I like this setup. This one will give me a better picture as to what it wants to do. There you go. Just needs to close up here. I did not. I expected this, but not this right here. Okay. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm gonna put my stop. Let's see here. I'm gonna put my stop here at 39 because I'm trying to catch this whole move up here. So the risk reward is worth it. Yep, I'll take it. Ooh, there's another chance here. All right, I'm gonna add another one. My stop is now here. Yep, there we go. Okay, good. It's 50%. so if this is going to work, then I'm not going to add any more. Just going to leave that as is. And my stop is here, and my stop is going to be 50-50. One, two. There we go. All right, beautiful. So I'm risking about 17 points right there. Yep, there you go. Actually, no, it's here. Yeah, so 50% of the range is down here. Wait, there we go. What the hell? Okay, right. Yep. Okay, so 50% of the range is still below my entry point, and I am looking for price to draw higher. So we'll see. One thing I've learned is when you are looking for double purges, you want so you want the purge of buy stops. You want buy stops purge first, which happened up here because price opened, immediately drew higher, and then it swept this low. So you want buy stops purge first, then sell stops, and then that's when you get the move in. I found that on the 15-second, it wasn't on the 1 minute. And now I'm gonna bring my stop up to 59, so about 7 points. I'm gonna put my first sell here. So my stop is now at 60, 59.25, 25, which is right there. It's flirting with me. New high. Yeah, I'm only gonna cover one. The other one, the last one, I want to leave it because maybe we do draw higher. Let's go to the 60-minute. Yep, right here. So my last one will be at 2025. Yep, I'll do that. 2025 because I'm not that crazy, so I'll just leave it there. It might come up to attack these equal highs, but for Friday, I'm not willing to take that risk, especially when I have enough, when I have a pretty good entry as well as a pretty good morning. Really? There's a unicorn here. So I'll just wait to see what happens here. Oh wow, she's in the same trade I'm in. Her stop is at 31.25. Wow, she's crazy. That's way too far. 63.50 is her entry. I'm at 67.75. Nah, if price is gonna work with this one, it shouldn't come back to that low. It should not suit that low. Let's take a look at the 15-second again. Yeah, there's plenty of opposing PD arrays um, down here. So if it consolidates up here, that's fine. But it should trade to these highs up here. Okay, I think we're gonna get it. There we go. Wow. All right. What the hell? No, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it with my stop right where it's at. I just don't think it should come back down because just like we had something up here, we're now having it on the 15-second. Right there. If this low holds, then I'll move my stop up to break even. At this point, I'm only risking 10 points. No, 9 points per contract. Reclaimed order block. Now I want to see price close above this right here. All right, so I'm bringing my stop up to 70. Actually, yeah, 70, 68. My entry 67, so my stop is at 68.50. Relative equal highs here. There it is. Just waiting to get triggered. Okay, so this should hold. So I didn't use this one because obviously if you used it and it didn't run this low, then that's not necessarily a good inverse. A good inverse for me is whenever it runs both buy side and sell side. You can see it here on the 1 minute, but you can actually see it more clearly on the 15 or 30 second. So now there's no yeah, there's no pressure, because if I get stopped out, I get stopped out at break even. Well, maybe a couple dollars break even, but I stand to make about 50 points, and it all depends what happens once the high gets swept as to whether I hold on to my last contract or I just let it go. I won't be surprised if it does this one more time. But it should not break this low. This right here to me is a protected low now. And just like that, we're out. I'm gonna keep on moving it higher, a little higher, because I want to see what happens here. This low should actually, let's take this out now. So stop limit. All right. I don't want it to come back to 50% anymore. If it does, I'll just take it out. All right. Yeah, let's just leave it like that. Oh no. All right. I'm gonna take it off. 25. All right. So I just took that off at 25. It was probably dumb to do. Oh crap! It was probably dumb to keep it anyways. I'll never learn. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the day. Uh, Identified higher time frame bias, which was liquidity purge, draw higher. As long as my bias was correct, and I had to trust that my analysis was correct. Price drew into this order block here. Yes, a little more stronger, held on to 50% of this range. This one traded almost through the whole body, but still closed way above the constant encroachment of this body here. There was nothing on the 5 minute. Nothing. Although this would have been a pretty good swing high, swing low, had a body closed down here somewhere, but obviously it wasn't. I wasn't expecting this big of a swing, but the fact that that happened, uh, first swing high got purged, then swing low, and this was my entry here on the 15-second. Once price closed above this order block here, which was right here, came back into 50% of the range, and I decided to add a second contract, um, covered into this area here, covered the last one here, but obviously it should have been, I should have held on to it, at least wait until price closes to see if we would draw higher, and it looks like we may not. Maybe one more sweep of the side. As you can see, each one of these draws higher only happens after we get buy side, sell side swept. Once we get those two, continuation, well, price continues. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I'm glad how I ended the day. Yeah, Friday. I like how I traded today. Not taking, not going fast, just waiting, waiting until I see something, waiting until all of my ducks are in order. And as you can see here, the 15-minute, the 1 hour, we're all in agreement. And I actually wanted to see something on the 5 minute, but I actually saw it on the 1 minute, and my entry was on the 15-second, and I was able to get out with a pretty good profit. So 3 green trades, one red trade. The 3 green trades trounced the loss of the one red trade, and then some by a large amount. So I'm pretty happy to end the week this way. But yeah, so next week, coming into next week, if those relative equal highs don't get swept, what I'll expect is something like, yeah, if these highs don't get swept, then I will expect for maybe a retracement into this area or this area here, and then a continuation higher. If these highs get swept and this guy gets swept, which I wouldn't think is out of the realm of possibility, then I'll continue. Yeah, then I'll continue looking for higher prices going into next week, and yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll see you tomorrow.